So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, why I, do not do the transit videos so oftenly on YouTube. There are certain reasons to it. But today we are going to do, this Mangal transit in Leo, which is from 1st of July to 17th of August, 2023. And we'll first discuss about Mangal, what exactly is Mars, and then we'll discuss about various factors, that influence a transit. So this is a very important class, and each one of you will learn lot of things. And after this class, you'll be able to apply the gochar, the transit of any planet in a very unique and a very accurate way. Okay, so let me not waste my time or our time, and let me hit the whiteboard straight away, and then this will give you a clarity. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the latest transit that you have is the transit of Mars. Mangal Devata is has just entered the sign of Leo on July 1st. So July 1st, Mars is here and will remain till August 17th. Okay. Now, you see, the important transits, as Sunny said, are the transits of Saturn, Jupiter, Rahu, right? And also, I would consider the transit of Mangal. I would definitely, consider the transit of planet Mars. It is an important transit. And Mars what is Mars basically? Let me first give you just 5 minutes of a unique introduction about Mangal Devata. What is Mars? Mars is the anger of Kal Purusha. Mars is the anger of Kal Purusha. Mars is the energy. Okay, it is the strength in your body that is again coming from Mangal. Mars is also the lord of your nervous system. It is the lord of the nervous system. My Guruji used to say, nerves are basically what? Nerves are like the telephone lines. Okay, what is the purpose of a telephone line? The purpose of the telephone line is to give current in the system. So, the current in your body, the current which is in your body is because of the Mangal. Okay, and I must tell you that Mangal is also the second karka of longevity. So your life, the first karka of the longevity is Chandra, but there's another karka of the longevity, which is Mangal Devata. Right? I must tell you that Mangal is also karka of the protection, of your body and protection of your karmas. I'll explain this thing in detail in next 5 minutes. So, Mangal is the anger, Mangal is energy, Mangal is the strength in the body, the Mangal is, the life force which is required to perform any task. Mangal is action. Mangal is also related to blood in your body, the blood that flows in your veins, the nervous system, everything belongs to Mangala Devata, Mars. You see, when you look at a horoscope, in a horoscope, in a kundali, Mangal is born in the sign of Scorpio. Mangal is born in the sign of Scorpio. So the birthplace of the Mangal is Scorpio. Okay? The birthplace of Mangal is Scorpio. He is born there. It's the home of the Mangal. So there are three houses that are attached with the Mangal Devata. The first house, which is attached with the Mangal Devata, is the Scorpio. So let me make a Kal Purush horoscope for you, and let me explain what does Mangal do in all the houses. And when you look at the transit, what houses and what planets are important. This is the home of the Mangal. He takes birth here, and he goes to his office in the palace of the king, and he works there. So this first house is the office of the Mangal. He works. He's like a palace. So that is why Aries is also the Mula Trikona sign of Mangal, and Scorpio is the home, Swa Kshetra of the Mangal Devata. Now you see, here Mangal is protecting the castle. Here the Mangal is protecting the entire province. When I talk about province, in the human, the first thing that you have is your body. That is why first house is also associated by Lagna, or the intelligence, or your body. So every planet who is also your Lagna lord behaves like Mangal. Remember this. Behaves like Mangal. Yaad rakhna. Any Lagna lord, if you have Lagna lord as Shani, so Shani in your horoscope will behave like a Mangal. If you have your Lagna lord as Chandra, Chandra will behave like a Mangala, because it is the natural tendency of a body to protect himself. So the protection is coming from the Mangal. It is the natural instinct. If I throw something at you, the first thing that you will do is defend yourself. You try to stop that thing with your hands. You will try to protect that thing. And to protect, to lift your hand and to stop something which is coming towards you, you need Mars, you need Mangal. So that is why Mangal becomes the Karka of energy. But who will give you the signal that something is coming towards you and you have to protect yourself? The nervous system will give you that signal. Your brain will give you that signal that, hey, something is coming towards you. You have to put the hand to cover your face and help yourself to protect. All these three energies are associated with Mangal Devata. Mangal is exalted in the Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of your vision, your drishti. If you have Saturn in the Capricorn, in the 10th house, you will have problems with your eyesight. If you have Ketu in the 10th house, you will not be able to see far away objects. आपकी दूर की नजर जो है वो खराब होगी. Whenever you have this, this Ketu in the 10th house. Similarly, there are many planets who are suffering, especially if you have malefics in the 10th house, you will have problems with your eyesight. For sure. Sooner or later, at the age of 35, 36, 38, you will see there will be problems coming in the vision. This is a vision. This is a place known as the Manikarni Ghat. It is the Ghats, or they are known as the 10th house is also known as the burning Ghat. When I say burning Ghat, it means it is a cremation ground where bodies are cremated. And your body is now given to the Bhumi. Body, the Panch Tattva, is given to the Bhumi. All your Tattvas. So, Mangal is the Bhumi Putra. It's a Bhumi Putra. It is the responsibility of the Mangal. It is the responsibility of the fire to give your body to the Bhumi. That is why Mangal is fully aware of what he's supposed to do in the house of Capricorn, and that is where he's exalted. He pays back to his mother that, Ma, I am your Bhumi Putra. I will make sure that every single body that takes birth comes back to you and gets into you finally. That is the reason of the exaltation. That is the real reason of the exaltation of the Mangal. On the same time, from this, what have we learned? We have learned a concept that the longevity is also directly proportional to the first house, eighth house, and the 10th house, the houses that belong to Mangal. So the planets in the first house, planets in the 8th house, planets in the 10th house are going to be a major significator in your longevity, in your Ayu. If the planets of the first house, 8th house, and 10th house are in Dushtanas, you will always struggle to actually increase your longevity. The position of the planets in the Kendras and Trikonas may also give you a bad longevity. All that depends is the strength and the positivity of a graha. At times, 8th Lord in the 8th house is fantastic. But these are the houses, the first house, the 8th house, the 10th house, and their bhavasthiti, the condition of the house and the condition of the Lord of these houses is also directly proportional to your longevity. But that is a very different topic. So Mars is one important planet which also has to play a major role in your longevity, in your nervous system, in your desires, in your passion, in your purification, in your energy, anger, ego, and life force. So the transit of this Mangal in your horoscope becomes extremely important. You see, when you look at this one first house, and then the 10th house, and then the 8th house, number 1 is common. If I write this 1, 0, and 8, this becomes 108, which is the natural life duration given in the Kali Yuga. Ideally, if your soul is little more elevated, you might live up to 120 or 140 until you are a rishi or a mahatma or a yogi. Then you have capability to live 500, 700,000 years. So 108 is also coming from 1, 8, and 10th house, the first, 8th, and the 10th house. Every single mala that you do, every single mantra for 108 times that you do is going to have a major impact on your Mars as well as your longevity. That's another factor. You see, 108 is divided into 4 parts, 36, 36, and 36. These are how the division of 108 is coming, 36, 36, and 36. The first 36 years of your life is from the first house to the 4th house. I think I have explained this before as well. The first 36 years of your life are these first 4 houses. These are the first 4. Consider this to be one pocket. This is the first 36. You are like a child. And the source of light in the first 4 houses is coming through moon. The next 4 houses belongs to the next 36 years of your life, from 36 to 70. The source of these 4 houses is coming from Sun. And if you consider this to be the last pocket, the next 36 years of your life, here the source of vision is Jupiter, the third eye, the spirituality. Jupiter is also considered as the third eye, known as Mukta. So what have we learned practically from this? We have learned if there is a Mars transit. Now this is the first point that you have to look in the transit of the Mars. You beat any Lagna. You are any Lagna. If the Mars is transit in the first 4 houses of your horoscope, it is extremely important to check the position of the Chandra. Oh, this is something very important that we have learned. If Mars is transiting in the houses from 5th to 8th, from 5 to 8 in your house, beat any Lagna, you must check the position of Surya in your horoscope. The position, the strength of the Surya will tell you how will be your dasha, how will be your transit of this Mangal. Same applies to the dasha of Mangal as well. You want to understand dasha of Mangal? Mars is in your first 4 houses. Check the position of the Chandra. If the Mars is between 5th to 8th house, check the position of the Surya. If Surya is debilitated or afflicted, you are going to have a hard time, I must tell you. And if your Mars is from 9th to 12th house, either sitting or it is transiting, you cannot complete this transit without understanding the position of the Jupiter in your horoscope. अगर आपका मेष लगन है, if you have an Aries Lagna, and suppose Mars is transiting in Capricorn, it is an exalted Mars there, but the position of Jupiter is bad in your horoscope, it is never ever going to give you those great results that you will see, that people will tell you on your YouTube. Thousands of videos you will find, मंगल उचका हो गया कैप्रिकॉन में, शक्ति आ जाएगी, ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, एक्शन ओरिएंटेड हो जाओगे. कोई एक्शन ओरिएंटेड नहीं होगे until you check the position of the Jupiter. Because Mars is getting vision in the last 4 houses through Jupiter. Mars is getting vision from 5 to 8 through Surya, and Mars is getting vision in the first 4 houses through Chandra. Mars from last 40 days was in the sign of Cancer. He was debilitated. This transition was worst for the people who had bad Chandra. Simple. जिनका चंद्रमा afflicted था राहु से, केतु से, शनि से in the natal chart. People who had bad Chandra, my Chandra was debilitated and I had a hell 40 days in terms of my health, in terms of my brain. I was not doing fine. I had to miss classes. My energy levels were so low. The glucose levels were low. The energy levels were low. The health was low. The BP was low. If I would have had a better Chandra in my horoscope, this Mars transit would have not been very, very severe. Now the Mars is in the house of Leo. And the first thing I will check, being a Mesha Lagna, is to check the position of the Surya. Even if the Mars is transiting in the 6th house of somebody's chart, or maybe the 7th house, maybe the 8th house, you cannot say a single word about this transit without looking at the position of the Surya. And if Mars is transiting in your 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th house in the sign of Leo, the first thing you have to check is your natal Jupiter. Is your Jupiter strong? You can straight away tell someone that, hey, look, your Jupiter is weak. You got to be careful in this transit. Don't go by what people is telling you that it is a very strong, it is going to give you spirituality and blah, 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 this and that. Please don't go by those videos. It's going to hit you back. It is going to be a suffering. So I'm going to make a picture for you how you look at transits. Now, let me write down here Mars, a big Mars here, a big Mars. Okay, this is Mars. Mars has just entered the sign of Leo. So the first thing that you have to check, now these are the steps. And these steps are standard features. These steps are standard steps for all the transits, be it a Saturn transit, be it a Rahu transit, be it a Jupiter transit. You have to follow these steps to understand a transit. So the first step which is required here to understand is the graha for which you are looking at a transit is a Karak graha or it is a Akarak graha. A Karak. When I say Karak or Akarak, it doesn't mean Yog Karak I'm talking about. A Karak graha is a friend of Lagnesh. Friend of Lagnesh. I just said that your Lagnesh behaves like a Mars. Because in the Kal Purush Kundli, the Lagna Lord is Mangal. And that is why you have a natural instinct of protecting yourself. So your Lagnesh behaves like the protecting shield. Now, if Mars is not friendly with your Lagna, you are in trouble with the Mars transit. It is not going to be a positive transit, be it any transit. You should be happy when the Mars is weak. You should be happy. If the Mars is getting stronger, if the Mars is entering a friendly sign, and it is a Karak Graha, you have a relief. So the second step that you will see is that the transit planet is in a friendly or a non-friendly sign. Is he in a friendly sign or a non-friendly sign? So tell me, is this Mars that is transiting, is the Mars transiting in a friendly sign or it is transiting in the non-friendly sign? It is transiting in Leo. So is Leo a friendly sign? Yes. It is a friendly sign. Okay? It is a friendly sign. So there is one input coming to Mars, as Mars is going to be a friend of the Lagna or not. Second input that is coming to the Mars is of Mars going in a friendly sign or a non-friendly sign. Now, the third important thing. What is the relationship? What is relationship of transiting planet with the natal planet? Transiting planet with the natal planet versus the natal planet. So suppose Mars is in my third house and now it is transiting in the fifth house. So the transiting Mars from my natal Mars is making a 3-11 combination. मंगल मंगल का आपको देखना है कि आपकी कुंडली में सपोज Saturn is in my 6th house and now Saturn is transiting in the 11th house. So it is transiting 6th from 6th. It is transiting 6th from my natal Saturn. अगर वो आज 11th house में which is going to initiate health issues, diseases. 6th from 6th is diseases. If my Mars is now transiting in the 5th house and it is transiting 3rd from my natal Mars. So that is the 3rd input given to the Mars so that it can give me the results. The 4th input is to see the transit of the Mars of the Graha from the Lagna. Now I'm looking at the Lagna. From my Lagna, it is transiting in which house? This is going to give me the external environment, the physical environment or external environment. The 5th step is to see it from the moon Lagna. This is going to give me internal environment, my mental environment, the things that will happen inside my mind after looking at the external things. How I'm going to behave to a situation because of the transit of this Graha. The 6th that I see is the transit from the Surya Kundli, from the Sun Lagna. I will rotate this horoscope to the Surya will become the Lagna. This transit will tell me about my financial strength. How will be my finances? मेरा फाइनेंस कैसा रहेगा इस ट्रांजिट में? If from my Surya Lagna, the transit graha is 12th, I have to be very careful with my transits. If it is in the 6th, I have to be careful with my debts. If it is going in the 8th, I have to be very careful with my expenses that may occur in the hospitals or maybe the accidents or sudden losses. And the last but not least, every 5-10 days, I must check the Gochara, which is the Navmansha it is traveling in the D9 chart. I have to check in which Navamsha is the Mangal in the D9 for next 40 days. And this is my energy source point from my past. This is the energy of my soul, the vibration. It is the support system. D9 is like a support system. It should be in sync to my Lagna. If the D9 is not in sync to my Lagna, it is going to create so many problems. Your D9, the planets in the D9 should be in sync to the planets in the Lagna, in the Rashi. If they do not sync well, if they do not complement well, that is why you have the concepts like Rashi, Tula, Navamsha and everything. Just to check the syncing. Are they syncing well or not? So all these conditions, and the last condition is the Navatara system, where you check that it is going to transit through what nakshatras. Hopefully, there should not be the 3rd, 5th, and the 7th nakshatras in Leo for you. In Leo for you. If you have them, you are going to be in trouble during those few days. For an example, what all nakshatras does Leo has? Leo is basically 0 to 13 degree 20 minutes is Magha. Ketu's nakshatra. And for me, as a Anuradha nakshatra born, Ketu is not a good nakshatra for me. It is bad. And then we have Purva Falguni, complete all four padas of Purva Falguni, like 13 degree 20 minutes of Leo to 26 degree 40 minutes of Purva Falguni, Shukra. Oh, this is good. And then we have Uttara Falguni, one pada, 26 degree to 30 minutes. So we have complete Magha, complete Purva Falguni, and one pada, one charan of Uttar Falguni. For me, as a Anuradha Lagna, Navtara system, both Magha and Uttar Falguni are not favorable, because for me, the nakshatras of three grahas, Mars, Ketu, and Surya, are bad. Whenever you can check the Navtara system, just check the Navtara system of your Janam nakshatra. For me, Mars, Ketu, and Surya nakshatras are not good. And here we have a Ketu nakshatra and then we have a Surya nakshatra. So this transit is going to give me a very ordinary results, where this in between time of Purva Falguni is going to be good. But in the beginning, in the end, I got to be careful. I must be careful. Otherwise, it can give me problems. Now, when you have this basic thing in your mind, now we can go to Parashara or Parashara Light software, and let me open what is happening. You must check, last but not least, the drishtis. These are common things. Let me also write that for you first. There's very important step which is there, so let me write down as the ninth aspect. Okay, there's a ninth aspect. You have to look at the drishti, the aspects of Mars and aspects on Mars, aspects of and on the graha. You have to check. And obviously, the bhavavastha, the conjunctions. What planets that Mars will meet in your horoscope? Just like Sunny said, that the transit of Jupiter over Saturn is good, but vice versa, Saturn over Jupiter may not be good. That conjunctions, the movement, what all planets are being encountered in your horoscope, and the aspects. These are the basics. Any confusions, ladies and gentlemen? Are you in sync with me? Have you understood how do we look at a transit? Okay. Bhrigu Bindu point, obviously, yes. Whenever it moves over your Bhrigu Bindu point or ascendant point, very, very important. Let me go to the PPHS and let me make the horoscope of 1st of July. This is 1st of July, and this is the position of the Mars right now, where Mars has just entered the Magha nakshatra. Okay, now what was the first rule? Is it for the Mesh Lagna people? Is it Karak or Akarak? The one positive thing for the Mesh Lagna is it is Karaka. It is Karak, it is friendly with the Lagna. It's the Lagna himself, the Lagna Lord himself transiting in the 5th house. So it is a good transit in a way, but we cannot say it blindly that it is very, very good. It can be, it can give you certain troubles, because as I said, for Anuradha Nakshatra, if you look at the Navatara system, just check your Navatara system. There's a video of Navatara system on the YouTube. Just check that if this Mars is transiting in your unfavorable nakshatras, okay, it is going to cause certain problems associated, with those nakshatras. For an example, Magha. Magha is the nakshatra which is associated with ancestors. Magha is the nakshatra which is associated with the Pitri Rin. So what should I do as a remedy if I am a Mesha Lagna? The first thing that I'll do is, in the south direction of my home, I will start lighting a lamp for my ancestors. These are small remedies that must be done. From my natal Mangal, my Mangal in my horoscope is over here. Mangal is in the third house. It's my Lagna Lord. So Mars is here. So from here it is transiting third, and the combination is 311. So which is activating my third house as well as the 11th house. So the third house is house of Prakram, communication, confidence, new beginnings. 11th house is hopes, wishes, desires. 11th house is also the house of diseases. 11th house is house of Guru Charan. 5th house is house of skill. My skill, my energy is much more better than what I was 2 days ago, until Mars was debilitated. I could not speak the way I'm speaking. I could not walk the way I'm walking. I could not eat the way I'm eating. Because Mars is my nervous system. Mars is like those telephone current lines in my body. All these nerves, the current in these nerves is coming from Mars. There is a drishti of Jupiter on Mangal. There's a drishti of Jupiter on Mangal. If you consider the drishti of Rahu, there's a drishti of Rahu, and there's a drishti of Shani. We call them pratiyutis. We call them pratiyutis. When there's a pratiyuti, which is a drishti or a virtual conjunction, they're behaving. There's a drishti is like the combination, yuti and pratiyuti. So Saturn's pratiyuti with Mangal is going to give me a scientific technical approach. Mangal Shani is very, very promisingly present together or in yuti or in pratiyuti in the charts of the engineers. People who are technically sound. You can be a Jyotishi, but you will be technically very sound. And on the same time, Saturn is also retrograding. Saturn is not that powerful at the moment. He has only the Cheshta Bala. He's slow. He's watching back. He's revising things. He's going back to the Capricorn. He's telling Capricorn, what did I do in Capricorn? Is there something left? Is there something which was missing when I was transiting in Capricorn? Is there something I did in a hurry? Did I hurry up? And in the hurry, in that chaos, did I left something? That is what Mars is trying to tell. That is what Saturn is also giving the message. So technically, Mars is giving energy to the Saturn, and Saturn is trying to balance Mars here because Mars is in the fire. Mars is now getting fiery. So this is a good balance between Mars and Saturn. This is a good balance. With respect to the dispositor, we have to check the dispositor. Surya is in the third house. Right now, Sun is transiting here. So somewhere in July 17th or 18th, the Surya will come in the fourth house, which is now Dvidvadash combination. You got to be careful. Mesha Lagna people, you have to be careful here. From almost 18th of July to 17th of August, Surya is Dvidvadash from Mangal Deva, that is, it is in the 12th house. There can be losses related to the fourth house, which is, related to your heart problems, comforts, cars, vehicles. You got to be careful. It can also give you a vehicle. It can give you a loan, credit, for sure. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Also, the Mars has drishtis. So Mars is going to look at from its drishti as well, the drishti aspect over here. The fourth drishti, the seventh drishti, and there is an eighth drishti. Oh, the 12th house is now getting active. Something is coming from abroad. Mesh Lagna people, if you applied a visa, strong chances you might get a visa. But do not invest in certain things by just taking a suggestion from someone, because there are strong chances you might get a wrong suggestion for your investment. Whenever Mars is in the 12th house, or whenever Mars is making any sambandha with the 12th house, note down this. You will get many suggestions, and that suggestion can go wrong in your life. Whenever Mangal has this sambandha. It is a good transit for Mesha Lagna. I must tell you that no transit is very good, no transit is very bad. It is always giving you mixed results. Let me see what is happening in this transit. Let me see what is happening in this transit from the Chandra. Let me rotate this. Oh, from the Chandra, it is in the 10th house. My mind is going to be full of energy, and it is going to take Mangal as exalted Mangal. Fantastic. With respect to Surya, what is happening with respect to Surya? In fact, my Surya is in the 3rd house in the natal chart. With respect to Surya, it is transiting in the 3rd house. Again, where Mangal is the Karaka. And it is going to increase the prakram, but it is also going to give me a certain ego. It is going to give me ego. For finance, it is good. I must take care that if I get gains during this transit, my ego should not go high. I should control my ego. Surya Kundli is going to tell me the financial position. So there will be hard work, there will be struggle to get the money. There's no doubt about it. So I checked from Lagna, I checked from Surya, I checked from Chandra, I checked from my natal. And day by day, you need to also check what is the movement. Every 4 or 5 days, you must check the movement of this particular Mangal in the Navamsha. Is it supporting? If in the Navamsha, it is in the 7th house at this point of time, you got to be careful with your relationships, with your partnerships, with your spouse. Mars in the 7th house may not be very good. You keep checking how it is moving. Keep checking. You can superimpose it. Last but not least, do not forget the Navatara system. The Navatara system will tell you all. Let's talk about the Taurus Lagna. For the Taurus Lagna, first, it is a Akaraka Graha. It is not Karak. It is happening in the 4th house. Be careful with the 4th house. One has to be careful with the 4th house, Vrishabh Lagna. However, when it comes to money, it is again going in the 3rd house. It is again going in the 3rd house. You have to be careful. You have to have prakram. But you see, with the Taurus Lagna, one must understand a thing. One must understand a thing that if you are doing any property deal, any deal of 4th house, vehicles, cars, you've got to be careful. You have to be careful. In terms of profession, it can give you energy because it is aspecting your 10th house, where Saturn is already retrograde. It is going to give you energy. It is going to give you some new ways. But on the same time, it has an aspect on your house of gains, 11th house. It is a Akarak Graha. Be very careful. Be very careful if you're working in the share market. Be very careful if you're in a speculative business. Be very careful for your reputation in the society. And make sure you check what kind of nakshatras it is passing. You need to check what kind of nakshatras it is passing through. Are there favorable nakshatras in the Navatara system? Is Magha favorable? Is the Purva Falguni favorable or the Uttar Falguni? Yeah, so Praveen ji is saying in D1, D9, moon chart, both Jupiter and Mars is at 6-8. And in Navtara is this Pratyari, and Jupiter is Sampat, and Mars is Sampat with Aquarius Lagna. So you all write down your observations based on this class. With this respect to these steps, from here, Mars is going to aspect the 7th house. You have to be careful, Taurus Lagna. We should be very careful with the relationships with the spouse, with your business partnership, with your personal partnership. You've got to be careful. That is very, very important. For Gemini Lagna, what is happening in the Gemini Lagna? Gemini Lagna, again, Mangal is what? Mangal is what? For Gemini Lagna, we must check the position of the Chandra as well in the natal chart, because it is happening here. For me, it was happening in the 5th house. I must check the position of my Surya in the natal chart. If Surya is strong, it is going to support this transit. Here, if the Chandra is weak in your natal chart, Chandra is not going to support. Chandra is not going to give vision to the Mangal. A lot of people will say you will get Prakram, new beginning, new startup. But where is the vision? If the moon is weak, there will be no vision. These are basic rules. And it is in the 3rd house. It is going to give you struggles and hardships. संघर्ष करना पड़ेगा, एफर्ट करना पड़ेगा आपको अपने जीवन के अंदर आगे बढ़ने के लिए. हाँ, मंगल की दृष्टि 9वें भाव पे जरूर है. स्पिरिचुअलिटी, लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल, शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल एक्टिवेट हो जाएंगे. द मोमेंट मार्स will transit, immediately short distance travels will, immediately short distance travel will be there. You must start traveling. And then you might also get more spiritual. You might get blessings from the Guru. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful with respect to signing new contracts. You have to be careful in your work, because this Akarak Mangal is going to look at your 10th house from its 8th aspect. You can have sudden problems in your work. You can have problems with your siblings, brothers and sisters, especially the younger ones. Be very careful, Gemini. There are some positive aspects, definitely. Do not forget the Navatara system. Check your nakshatras. Are these 3 nakshatras, Magha, Purva Falguni and Uttar Falguni, favorable one or not? If not favorable, you've got to be careful with those particular areas of life. Especially if your Purva or Uttara Falguni is not favorable, please do not get married, because these 2 nakshatras are the nakshatras of celebration. These are the nakshatras of getting married. If you are getting married in these nakshatras, it is a problem. if they are not favorable ones. These are the two best nakshatras for getting married. Shiva got married here. Shri Ram got married here. Purva and Uttara Falguni. For Kark Lagna, this transit is happening in the second house. It is the house of gains, family, taste, and it is a Karaka Graha. It is in fact a Yoga Karaka Graha. It is a good time, but you have to be careful with your speech. There may be aggression. There may be financial gains. Your children might get energy because the fourth aspect is on the fifth house. You must check the position of this Mars from your natal Mangal. You must check from the Chandra Kundli and the Surya Kundli to understand what is what. On the same time, you must check the Navatara system. How is Magha? How are the Ketu nakshatras and the Shukra nakshatras and the Surya nakshatras for you? If they are not favorable, if any one of not favorable, if it is Puru Falguni, the Shukra nakshatra is not favorable, stop and avoid celebrations. There can be problems during celebrations. From the 8th aspect, it is also aspecting your 9th house. Long distance travels, they will begin, they will start. Jupiter is having a good drishti. It is expanding Mangal. Rahu is giving technology to the Mangal. Shani is giving technicality to the Mangal. For Simha Lagna, lot of people will say, oh, it is a Karak Mangal. Of course, it is a Karak Mangal, but do not forget, it is a Badak Mangal as well. It is the Badak Graha transiting in the Lagna. Don't get excited. Don't get fooled by the videos on the YouTube. When a Badak Graha is transiting, even if it is a Karak, in the Lagna, it will choke your brain. There can be definitely issues in your married life. There can be issues in your 4th house, your comforts, luxuries. There can be hidden, unwanted situations because there is Mars transit on the 8th house. There's a Mars drishti on the 8th house. Be very careful. Be very careful here. Don't go by, of course, you are going to have a lot of energy. You are going to become short-tempered, impulsive. With Mars coming in the Lagna, control your nerve. Control your nerve right away. Even if you sound very technical, even if you sound very healthy, very spiritual, please control your nerve. You can definitely start occult sciences. Do not get proud. If you get proud of what you've learned and what you're learning, ये पतन का कारण बनेगा. This can give you problems. This can give you a downfall. For Virgo, it is transiting in the 12th house. From the 12th house, it is going to look at the 3rd house from the 4th aspect. And then the 6th house is going to make you more competitive. It is going to make you jealous. It is going to make you do comparisons. And it is going to look at your 7th house of marriage. Be very careful. It is a Akarak, Marak Graha for you. It is obviously Lord of the 8th house transiting in the 12th. Good for meditation. Good for being isolated. Good for learning the inner self. But it can also give you losses, financial losses. Be very careful in investment. Be very careful when you're spending your money. Be very careful when you're shopping things. Do not shop unnecessarily. Be very careful with your surgeries. There are strong chances that if there is a pending surgery which was going on, you might get operated. But do check your Navatara system. I always emphasize on the nakshatra, because nakshatras are the energy houses. Are these energy houses favorable? Is your natal Mangal in a good combination with the transiting Mangal? That is something, again, very, very important. Very important step. For Tula Lagna, it is happening in the 11th house. You will become very conscious about your position in the society, your status in the society. From there, it is going to aspect the fourth and if the fifth house from the seventh aspect, where you will be very conscious about the personality of your loved ones. You'll keep telling your wife or girlfriend that you have to work out, you have to exercise. See, look, I am smart. You have to wear this, you have to wear matching with me. You'll be very conscious about her or his looks and the way they carry themselves in the society. It is going to have its fourth aspect. It is a Akaraka Graha. It is not a favorable Graha for your Lagna. The fourth aspect is in your second house of wealth. Don't invest. Don't get into certain saving schemes. Watch what you eat. Watch what you speak. Be very careful. It might give you certain conflicts within the family. The sixth house aspect, the eighth aspect is going to give you a competitive nature. You can do comparisons. You can start doing unnecessarily comparisons. Don't do that, which will take you to a level where you are in trouble. Look at the Scorpio. For Scorpio Lagna, it is fantastic. It is happening in the 10th house. Mars is getting a lot of energy. It is looking in the 4th house. It is a Lagna Lord himself. It is a favorable one. The Rashi is good. Aspecting the Lagna, which is giving you a lot of power, but you have to control your temperament. You see, the Scorpio Lagna people, the time, Mars has entered the sign of Leo, it has given you fights. लड़ाई झगड़े हो गए आपके, कलेश हो जाएगा, घर पे ही कलेश हो जाएगा. Because Mars is very energetic. Your Lagna is very energetic now. Control your nerves, otherwise you will lose relationships. You will lose respect. Everyone will say that it is a very positive, but no, wait, ask a Scorpio Lagna. If you're feeling energetic, please utilize your energy in the gym, work out. Do not energize your brain to fight. Don't fight at home. Don't fight. Just fight your circumstances, fight your ego, fight your body fat. That is what is required. Not fighting with the family and others. Do not fight with your spouse. Do not fight with your children. Do not get loud with your children if you're a Scorpio Lagna. You are going to do that because you're overflowing with the energy. You need to control your nerve. For Dhanu, it is in the 9th house. It is going to increase your prakram. It is increase your meditative power. It is aspecting the 12th house, the 3rd house, and the 4th house. It is also activating your 9th house, long distance travels, education, higher studies, meeting a guru, teacher. You might go for a meditation camp. You might start a new thing. You might start a course. You might find a guru. You might start a sadhana. All these things are going to happen with Sagittarius Lagna. But make sure that it is in sync with the Navamsha. It is in sync with your natal Mangal. It is giving you good aspects based on the Chandra and the Surya Kundli. Then it is good. And you do not forget your Navtara. For the Capricorn Lagna, it is in the 8th house. Be very careful when it comes to your deals in the society. The reputation in the society can go for a 6. You can have certain events, you can have accident, you can even have certain losses. You might lose a job. आपकी जड़ें हिल सकती हैं. On the same time, the assets, the family, the savings can be in trouble. You can have troubles with your siblings. It is not a Karaka Graha, it is a Akaraka Graha. Be very careful. Check the position of your natal Mangal. Whatever, if it is 6-8 from your natal Mangal, 6th and 8th house is getting activated. It is 212, automatically the 2nd and the 12th house of your horoscope will get activated. Be very careful. And always see from the Dasha. I forgot a point, Dasha. Make Dasha as the Lagna and see the position of that transiting planet. It will tell you that how is the support system coming from Dasha. दशा लगन से ट्रांजिटिंग प्लैनेट को जरूर देखना चाहिए. वो भी आपको एक इनपुट देता है कि इस पर्टिकुलर दशा के अंदर क्या सिस्टम बनेगा. For Aquarius, it is happening in the 7th house, aspecting the Lagna. Got to be careful with relationships, your marriage, your business partnerships, your daily income. It is a Karaka Graha here. You got to be careful. It is aspecting your business, work, 10th house. And the 2nd house as well from the 8th aspect. Family, assets, कुटुंब, फालतू के लड़ाई झगड़े कलेश बचो उनसे. Control your nerve. Do not get into any unnecessary arguments in the office, in your business. It can give you losses on your daily income, on your salary, on your job. Don't get into unnecessary conflicts of others. दूसरों के झगड़ों में बीच में मत आओ. You will get troubles, especially from around 8th of August to 17th of August. You must check the Navamsha. There's a troublesome period. मंगल केतु एक साथ हैं उस समय. नवांश में प्रॉब्लम देते हैं. For the Pisces, it is happening in the 6th house. It is going to make you very, very competitive. It is a Karaka Graha for Pisces. 6th house Mangal is a fantastic Mangal because you are a very, very competitive person. You do very healthy comparisons and you win. You never lose. It makes a great sports person, fitness freak people, but the Mars has to be strong and the Surya has to be strong. Do not forget, in these houses, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th and the 8th, the position of Sun has to be taken care. It is important. When the Mangal is in the 10th or the 9th or 10th or 11th or 12th house, you have to check the position of Jupiter. In the first 4 houses, check the position of the Chandra, the natal Chandra, the natal Jupiter, the natal Surya. Here, Mars is also aspecting your 9th house from the 4th house, from the 4th aspect. Guru, teacher, long distance travel, education, higher education. A good time. If you want to clear a competition, it's a good time. You can clear a competition. Try. But do not forget to check the Navtara system. Check what are the favorable nakshatras for your Janma nakshatra. With respect to your Janam nakshatra, which one are favorable? It is also going to aspect your Lagna from the 8th aspect. It is going to give you strong set of energy for next 40 days. It is going to give you more analytical and skilled and technical energy. Utilize this time. It is a good time. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you try to understand a gochara, a transitor. Now, I have a homework for you people. There are two homeworks that I want to give you.